Excuse me, I was wondering if I could ask your opinion on a certain matter. You see, I am fiending for something sweet, but I am low on funds. Can you recommend me a beverage that has the most sugar for the cheapest price? I most certainly could, but sugar is expensive, so if you want to stretch your dollar, I'd recommend artificial sweeteners like saccharin. Saccharin? Sounds like a drug. Are you a drug dealer? No, saccharin comes from the Latin word saccharine, which means of relating to sugar. Its scientific name is benzoic sulfamide. You sure seem to know a lot about artificial sweeteners. Where does saccharin come from? It was first developed on accident by chemist Constantin Fahlberg in 1878 while he was working with coal tar for chemist Remsen at Johns Hopkins University. As the story goes, Fahlberg came home from the lab one night after working with the coal tar. As he was eating his dinner, he noticed that everything he touched was incredibly sweet. When Fahlberg eventually realized that the sweetness was coming from his hand, he ran back to the lab and tasted every beaker to locate the substance. That sounds incredibly unsafe. Is that standard procedure for American chemistry laboratories? Yes, it was very dangerous. And no, Fahlberg was from Russia, although there are probably many hooligans who don't follow safety rules in America. Despite breaking all the laboratory safety rules, Fahlberg's discovery made him a very wealthy man when he patented saccharin in 1884. What about his boss, Remsen? Did he also make a lot of money? Remsen and Fahlberg published joint articles on saccharin in 1879 and 1880, but Fahlberg patented the procedure on his own in 1884. Looks like there are shady types even in the world of science. So, whatever happened to saccharin anyway? Why is this the first time I'm hearing about it? Well, in 1907, saccharin was used as a sugar replacement for diabetics. It would not become widely used until the sugar shortages during World War I. I can relate to that. I got to have my sugar. Unfortunately, now I have diabetes. I am sorry, but you might be glad to know that saccharin does not contain any calories because it is not metabolized by the body. During the 60s and 70s, saccharin became extremely popular among dieters for this reason. Now saccharin is found in a multitude of products, from candy to toothpaste. Are you telling me that this fake sugar is healthy to eat? Because you see, I am trying to watch my figure while gorging copious amounts of sweets. Well, the safeness of saccharin has been in controversy since 1907. At one point, scientists found that saccharin produced cancer in lab mice. However, it was eventually delisted as a carcinogen in 2001, after it was found that this effect was unique to mice and did not occur in humans. In 2010, the EPA officially stated that saccharin is not hazardous to human health. That is the best news I've heard in years. So what makes saccharin so sweet anyway? The specific reason for saccharin's sweetness is still unclear. This is the nature of science. There are always more questions to explore. Scientists believe that the sweetness has to do with the molecular shape of saccharin and the receptors on the taste buds. Interestingly enough, bees, which are naturally attracted to sweet substances, are not drawn to saccharin, so the sweet effect may be specific for humans. So this stuff is cheaper, sweeter, has less calories than sugar, and doesn't attract bees during picnics. I don't believe life can get much better than this. Despite the fact that even President Theodore Roosevelt was behind the safeness of saccharin, there have been many studies have linked saccharin intake to irritability and increased caloric intake. Because saccharin has the ability to pass through the placenta and breast milk, pregnant or nursing mothers are advised against heavy saccharin ingestion. Well, I guess it's a good thing that I am not a nursing mother, because right now I desire large quantities of saccharin in my mouth. Would you, by any chance, know how to produce it? Yes, I believe I do remember the gist of the Remsen-Fahlberg process. First, the toluene in coal tar is mixed with chlorosulfonic acid to create a new compound. Then, ammonia, permanganate, and potassium are added to form another new compound. This final compound is then heated to produce saccharin. Sounds complicated. Are there any shortcuts? Actually, yes, there is. In 1950, the Maumee Chemical Company in Toledo, Ohio developed a more efficient procedure for saccharin production. The Maumee method begins with phthalic anhydride, which is converted into anthranilic acid. It is then combined with nitrous acid, sulfur dioxide, ammonia, and chlorine to produce saccharin. Wow! That sounds a lot simpler. Yes, there are less steps, a higher yield of product, and doesn't require heating. It is a pity that I do not have access to laboratory equipment or industrial chemicals. I am but an average citizen with a large sweet tooth. How far will 15 cents get me? I can give you 3 packets of sweet and low. I accept your offer.